Delicious, meat nutritious, and the snack that packs a real protein punch, Wonderful Pistachios. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value and making Wonderful Pistachios one of the highest protein nuts out there. But perhaps more than that, I love all of the flavors they have. Their sea salt and vinegar ones are my favorite when I'm craving that flavor, but still want to keep it healthy. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Wonderful Pistachios come in a variety of flavors like chili roasted, honey roasted, smoky barbecue, and jalapeno lime, to name a few. Perfect for enjoying with family or friends and taking them with you on the go. Whether you're a pistachio purist who loves cracking open every nut, or you prefer the convenience of no-shells pistachios, Wonderful Pistachios has got you covered. Grab Wonderful Pistachios and elevate your snacking game today. So fill up with a healthy snack when hunger strikes. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com. This is Optimal Living Daily, 8 life-changing quotes from inspirational authors by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. And I'm Justin Malik. I read an article every day of the year and give a little bit of commentary at the end just to give us both a bit more inspiration, motivation, or happiness in our days. Really adds up in my experience. So with that, let's get right to our next one as we optimize your life. 8 life-changing quotes from inspirational authors by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. When I read a book, I'll remember the broad strokes of the story, or in the case of nonfiction, the main thrust of the message. But it's rare that I'll remember the details of a minor character or the intricacies of a professional development sequence. Every so often, however, I'll come across a book passage that makes me sit up straighter in my chair, grab my highlighter, and dog-ear the page. It's a message so powerful that it stays with me long after I've finished the book. It's profound and remarkable when it happens. And it only seems to occur when the circumstances are right, which is when a powerful message reaches you at a time in your life when you're ready to receive it. From kids' books, which is the most pervasive genre in our house these days, to fiction, to nonfiction, all types of books are filled with sticky quotes that stay with you long after you've finished reading. Here are 8 of my favorites with a bit of commentary about how they have impacted my thinking in my life. Number 1, get busy living or get busy dying. From Stephen King's The Shawshank Redemption. Ours is a world of limited resources, the most finite of which is time, and time is not on your side. It marches on relentlessly, and you can't get it back. That's why it's critical to figure out your goals and start acting toward them no matter how scary the journey. Urgency is the most powerful antidote for regret. Number 2, if you're making mistakes, it means you're out there doing something good. From Neil Gaiman's Make Good Art. Fear of failure stops us from doing so many things, such as quitting a job, starting a business, or having a difficult conversation. We tell ourselves that we will take action when the time is right. But the only time that is ever right is right now. Waiting for the fear to go away is a hopeless strategy. It never will. At some point, you have to be more afraid of settling than you are of chasing your dream and failing. We also tell ourselves that we don't take action because we lack confidence. But confidence is not what is required. Courage is. In fact, when pushing boundaries, almost no one is confident. The courageous few do something anyway. Soon, as Gaiman explains, you come to realize that fear is not to be avoided, but to be embraced. You grab fear by the throat and never let go. Number 3, you have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the one who will decide where to go. From Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. This passage brings to mind a quote from entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker Jim Rohn. Rohn often speaks of life's possibilities and once said, quote, "If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much," end quote. The point is that life will push you around if you let it. We're too often on cruise control, mindlessly going through our days. Achievement requires intention and action. Without both, you'll either stand still or wander aimlessly. As Dr. Seuss and Rohn make clear, it's only by acting with intention and purpose that life's possibilities can become a reality. Number 4, and now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. From John Steinbeck's East of Eden. No one is perfect, and in any event, perfection is not something to aspire to. What makes each of us special is our humanity and fallibility. It's our rough edges, not our smooth, perfect lines. As Steinbeck explains, we must first accept our own imperfections before we can attain contentment. A life spent chasing perfection is one doomed for dissatisfaction and disappointment. Embracing who we are, warts and all, that's what leads to a good life. Number 5, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. From Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. It's funny how life works. People who get lucky and achieve great success in business and in life are almost always the ones who conjure the biggest dreams and work tirelessly to realize them. Of course, as you might have guessed from the quote, luck has nothing to do with it. Number 6, it's only after we've lost everything that we're freed to do anything. From Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club. I've never lost everything, but I have experienced loss. Tuesday was the 5th year anniversary of my dad's passing, and with the benefit of perspective, I look back at that moment as a transformational one in my own life. Not only did it bring to the surface the reality of my own mortality, but it fueled me to honor his legacy by living more in accordance with his values. 1 month after his passing, we learned that Heather was pregnant with our twin girls. We knew that the introduction of 2 new little ones into our family would involve some loss in terms of our time and freedom, but instead of focusing on what we would lose, we used the occasion to consider what we could become. This put us on a path that ultimately led us to Traverse City and the launch of Life and Whim. Loss can lead to opportunity if you let it. Number 7, our battered suitcases were piled on the sidewalk again. We had longer ways to go, but no matter, the road is life. From Jack Kerouac's On the Road. Heather and I spent much of our pre-child life together with our heads down, focused on advancing in our careers and growing our business. Looking back, we should have traveled more, seen more, done more, and had more adventures. Now that our kids are a bit older, we're trying to make up for lost time. Heather is more of a wanderer by nature, and I'm trying to follow suit. Insights like this from Kerouac help our desire to live a rich, meaningful life full of new experiences. And number 8, you must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land, there is no other life but this. From Henry David Thoreau's Journal. This quote comes from Thoreau's journal. It's a timeless reminder to not live for the future nor dwell in the past. You never know what tomorrow will bring, or even if there will be a tomorrow, and you can't do anything to change what happened yesterday, so you might as well focus on all that is great and possible about the present moment. You only get one shot at life. Make the most of it. I hope you enjoyed and perhaps were inspired by this review of the insights of some of the most provocative and thoughtful minds in modern history. I found that no matter how tough life gets, there's always wisdom and encouragement that can be found in great books that can help me to get back on track. Life is short, and at times it's hard, but there's no escaping the fact that the only way to tackle it is head on with purpose and intention. After all, it's the bumps in the road that make life's journey worth living. You just listened to the post titled 8 Life-Changing Quotes from Inspirational Authors by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Thank you to Jay and Heather. I think out of this list, I've only read one of these, The Alchemist, which I do remember enjoying. You might like that one too. And then I've seen only 2 of the movies mentioned, The Shawshank Redemption and Fight Club. I never realized it the first time I saw the movie, but Fight Club has a lot of minimalist principles in it. So much so, actually, that Joshua and Ryan of The Minimalists wrote an article titled Fight Club's Tyler Durden is a Minimalist, and it's a list of 26 quotes from the movie that apply to minimalism pretty directly. It's kind of similar to this post that we heard today, and I thought it was pretty interesting, but as a warning, that movie is very dark if you haven't seen it before. The Shawshank Redemption is somewhat dark too, but not as much, I'd say. And it happens to be ranked as the best movie of all time, ever. That's by users on IMDb. So probably worth watching that movie if you haven't seen it before. In any case, hopefully the quotes from today's article were inspirational for you. I thought there were some great ones in here. But I'll leave it at that for today. Thank you for being here and listening every day. And thank you if you've ever shared this show with someone. That's the greatest thing you can do to help keep all of this going. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.